Captain Aaron Soul sat in the cockpit of the small exploration craft, his eyes scanning the planet below. It was nothing like Earth. The surface glowed with strange colors, rivers shimmered like liquid crystals, and tall plants with translucent leaves swayed despite the lack of wind. Floating rocks drifted lazily above the ground, casting long shadows in the dim light of a sun that seemed too close to the horizon. "This is it?" Aaron said softly, almost to himself. "A planet untouched. And we are the first humans to set foot here." He felt a mixture of excitement and tension. Space exploration was never simple. Every unknown world carried risks. But humans had a history of curiosity, courage, and persistence, and Aaron carried that spirit in every careful movement he made. "Captain, sensors are picking up movement ahead," said Mira, his second in command, her voice steady but tense. "Life forms. Multiple signatures." Aaron's heart beat faster. This was why they came, to encounter the unknown.
He adjusted his visor and peered through the thick glass canopy.
There, in a clearing surrounded by glowing plants, stood two figures, identical in form, slender and taller than humans. Their skin was a shade of pale violet, and their eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the light around them. Twin alien sisters, according to his initial scans. The sisters noticed the ship immediately. One of them stepped forward, tilting her head in curiosity. She spoke, and though the words were foreign, the tone was mocking, playful. The other laughed, a sound like wind chimes. Aaron smiled slightly, hiding the flutter of nerves he felt. He had expected contact, but he had not expected their confidence. "They think we don't understand them," he said under his breath. "Let's see how long that lasts." He stepped out of the ship, his suit gleaming under the strange sunlight. The ground felt soft but solid beneath his boots, and the air, though breathable, carried a faint metallic scent. The twins watched him, shifting their weight gracefully. One of the twins, Vera, waved her hand and spoke again. Aaron didn't reply, pretending not to understand. The other, Kira, tilted her head and smirked, clearly enjoying the display of arrogance. "They are testing us," Mira whispered. "Or maybe trying to scare us." Aaron shook his head. "No, they are confident. Overconfident, that can be useful." He had learned long ago that pride often blinded the most intelligent beings. The twins began moving around him, speaking in rapid sequences of alien words. They laughed and gestured, pointing to the plants, the rocks, and even at Aaron. Their movements were fluid, almost musical, like a dance. Aaron studied them carefully. Every gesture, every pause, every glance. He had deciphered several alien languages in the past, and he had a gift for pattern recognition. Slowly, he started understanding bits and pieces. A word repeated often when they pointed to the glowing plants. Another word accompanied their laughter when they made fun of him. He pretended to be confused, scratching his helmet and looking around. "It's working," he whispered to Mira. "They think they are superior. That arrogance will be their weakness." The twins stopped for a moment and exchanged a glance, then laughed again. They moved closer, their eyes bright with curiosity. "Captain," Mira said quietly, "they are closing in. Should we—" Aaron shook his head. "Let them come. Don't make sudden moves. Let them speak their minds. Every gesture, every word, every expression. They are giving us information. We just need to observe." The twins circled him, speaking faster now, pointing to a strange glowing pool nearby. They seemed to be teasing him, showing off something that Aaron could not yet touch or use. But he paid attention. Humans had a way of observing, learning, and adapting faster than many species. It was our gift. Aaron noticed that their language had rhythm and repetition. Certain words came at the start of every sentence. Others followed gestures. He began to record the patterns in his mind, translating slowly. By the time the twins stopped moving, he had already learned enough to understand their basic words. "Interesting," he whispered. "We can do this." Vera suddenly stopped in front of him, her glowing eyes wide. She spoke again, slowly this time, perhaps sensing that Aaron was paying attention. Kira joined in, her voice soft but sharp. They were mocking him, sure, but there was more. Their words hinted at something hidden, something they considered valuable. Aaron caught the meaning of a single phrase. "The treasure is not for fools." His curiosity piqued. "Treasure?" he thought. "Perhaps they have a secret worth knowing, or a challenge we must face." The twins moved aside, laughing, and gestured toward a glowing path leading deeper into the forest. It was a clear invitation or a test. Aaron turned to Mira. "We go slowly, observe everything. Do not speak yet. The path was unlike anything humans had ever seen. The ground seemed alive, glowing faintly as if responding to their steps. Plants moved aside as they passed, almost as if welcoming or warning them. The twins floated beside them, keeping their distance but never letting Aaron out of sight. Aaron felt a thrill of anticipation. Humans had survived, adapted, and thrived on countless worlds. And here on this strange alien planet, that same adaptability would be tested. Remember, he said quietly, they may be faster, stronger, smarter in some ways, but we have observation, patience, and intelligence. That is our power. As they moved deeper into the glowing forest, the twins began speaking again. Aaron listened, picking out words, gestures, and meanings. Slowly, carefully, he began to understand. The sisters were not just playful, they were clever, testing him, trying to measure his mind. Finally, Aaron smiled. A plan began to form in his mind. When the time came, he would show them that humans were not fools. That humans could learn, understand, and even surpass expectations. The twins had mocked him, thinking he did not know their language. But Aaron had heard every word, understood every joke, and memorized every motion, and when he spoke, it would change everything. For now, though, he stayed silent, moving forward with steady steps. The forest seemed to pulse with energy around them. The twins glowed faintly, eyes bright with curiosity and amusement. And Aaron knew one thing with certainty. This planet, this challenge, these twins, they would not see him coming. Not yet, but soon, very soon, they would realize the humans were a force to be reckoned with. The glowing forest stretched endlessly before Captain Aaron Saul and his team. Every step they took seemed to awaken the plants beneath them, which shimmered softly as though acknowledging their presence. The twin sisters, Vera and Kira, floated alongside, their eyes glinting with amusement. They were graceful and confident, clearly accustomed to commanding the world around them. Aaron kept his expression calm, hiding the thrill of excitement that bubbled inside him. Humans had always survived by adapting, observing, and learning, and now he was quietly doing just that. They think they're clever, he whispered to Mira as they moved forward. They don't realize I understand them. Mira's eyes widened slightly. How much do you know? Enough to follow their thoughts, Aaron said. We just need patience and caution. They are giving us information even in their teasing. The twins were speaking rapidly now, their words a melody of alien tones. At first it had sounded like nonsense, but Aaron had begun recognizing patterns. Certain phrases repeated whenever they referred to objects in the forest. The glowing plants, the floating rocks, even the strange pools of liquid light that reflected the sky like mirrors. He noticed their gestures too. Vera would tilt her head when she was curious, while Kira would snap her fingers when she was trying to make a point. Their language was more than sounds, it was rhythm, movement, and energy. Humans were exceptional at noticing patterns, and Aaron used that ability to its fullest. The twins giggled and pointed to a peculiar structure ahead. It looked like a small tower, built from materials that shimmered like liquid metal. Its surface reflected the forest around it, blending it almost seamlessly with the environment. They are showing us something, Aaron whispered, but they are testing us at the same time. As they approached, Vera spoke a string of words accompanied by gestures pointing toward the tower. Kira laughed and added her own sequence, clearly expecting Aaron to fail at understanding. But Aaron noticed the meaning. They were inviting him to climb it, but only if he could understand their directions. Mira raised her brow. You're sure you understand them? I am certain, Aaron said. Watch closely. Humans are not just strong or clever physically, we are clever with knowledge. That's our strength. He stepped toward the tower cautiously. The twins watched every movement, their expressions shifting between amusement and curiosity. Aaron noted that they moved in patterns almost like a ritual. Perhaps climbing the tower wasn't just physical. It was also a test of intelligence and awareness. As he began ascending, he followed the subtle clues embedded in the twins' gestures. Each hand motion and head tilt seemed to correspond to a safe step, a stable surface, or a hidden hazard. Aaron moved slowly but confidently, using the language of observation, not words. When he reached the top, the twins circled him, eyes wide. Their expressions shifted, a mixture of surprise and admiration. You did it, Vera said in her melodic tone, words flowing rapidly, but Aaron only nodded. He didn't reply, not yet. The lesson wasn't over. From his high perch, Aaron could see more of the forest. Strange formations and glowing pathways stretched as far as the eye could see, and there at the center was a pool of light unlike any. The air inside the hidden passage was cooler than the glowing forest outside. The walls shimmered faintly with light, almost as if they were alive. Every step echoed, carrying forward into the unknown. Captain Aaron's soul walked carefully, his eyes sharp, his mind even sharper. Behind him, Mira and two other human explorers followed silently, trusting his lead, and beside him floated the twin alien sisters, Vera and Kira. Their faces still wore traces of amusement, but there was also something new in their eyes. Caution. For days they had tested him with challenges. For days they had mocked his supposed ignorance, but each time Aaron had surprised them. He climbed their tower. He solved their glowing pool puzzle. He walked paths that only they should have known, and he had done it all while staying silent, never letting them know how much of their language he had learned. Now, as they entered a vast chamber deep within the glowing planet, Aaron knew the moment had come. The chamber was enormous, larger than any human structure. Pillars of light rose from the ground to the ceiling, humming softly with energy. Strange symbols glowed across the walls, shifting and moving like they were alive. At the center was a circular platform that pulsed faintly, as though waiting for someone to stand upon it. The twins landed gracefully on the platform. Vera spoke first, her voice echoing in the chamber. Kira joined in, her words weaving together with her sisters in a rhythm like a song. Aaron listened closely. He understood much more now than he had before. They were declaring a final trial. This chamber was a sacred place for their people, a place of testing and judgment. Only the worthy could pass. Mira frowned, whispering, "Captain, what are they saying?" Aaron kept his expression calm. "They are giving me one last challenge. They think this will break me." The twins turned toward him, smiling confidently. Vera gestured to the glowing symbols on the walls. Kira followed with a series of sharp words, repeating one phrase that Aaron now understood perfectly: "Speak or fail." For the first time, they expected him to respond, to use their language. Not his. Aaron stood silently for a moment. His heart beat fast, but his mind was steady. For days he had listened. For days he had pieced their words together. And now the puzzle was complete. He stepped onto the platform. The light beneath his boots flared brighter, recognizing his presence. The twins tilted their heads, still smiling, but their eyes gleamed with challenge. Vera spoke quickly, mocking again, repeating the phrase, "Speak or fail." Aaron lifted his chin and answered in perfect alien speech, "I will speak." The chamber fell silent. The twins froze, their glowing eyes wide in shock. For a long moment they stared at him as though they had seen a ghost. Their mocking smiles disappeared completely. They whispered to each other in their language, words tumbling fast, but Aaron understood every single one. Impossible. He cannot know. He should not know. Aaron gave them a calm smile. "You thought I was blind to your words. But humans are not blind. We observe, we learn, we adapt, and we understand." His voice carried across the chamber, echoing against the glowing walls. Vera and Kira stepped back, their arrogance broken. The rhythm in their speech faltered. For the first time, their voices trembled slightly. Aaron pressed forward. "From the first moment I listened. From the first laugh I remembered. Every word you mocked me with, every gesture you thought was hidden, I learned them all. You thought me a fool, but humans are never fools when they pay attention." The platform beneath him glowed brighter, as though responding to his words. The walls shifted, the symbols rearranging themselves into new patterns. A deep humming filled the air and Mira gasped. "What's happening?" she whispered. Aaron's eyes remained fixed on the twins. "The chamber knows I speak the truth," the twins whispered again, voices soft and shaken. "He speaks as one of us," Kira said. Vera added, "He understands." Aaron took another step forward, his expression calm but firm. "Understand this too. Humans may not be the strongest. We may not fly like you or command worlds as you do. But we learn, we endure. We turn weakness into strength. That is what makes us powerful." The chamber responded once more. Light surged across the floor, spreading outward in waves until the entire room glowed like a living sun. The platform pulsed and the air grew warm with energy. The twins no longer looked at Aaron with amusement. Their pride had broken, replaced with awe. They bowed their heads slightly. Not mockery this time, but respect, Mira whispered, stunned. Captain, they believe you. Aaron turned his gaze to her. They don't just believe. They understand. For the first time, they see us not as a joke, but as equals. The twins raised their heads. Their voices joined together again, but now the tone was different. No longer mocking, no longer playful. This time their words carried weight. Human, you have spoken our tongue. You have solved our trials. You have walked our path. You are worthy, Aaron nodded. Not just me. My people, humanity. We are worthy. The chamber grew silent again. The light slowly dimmed until only the soft glow of the walls remained. The trial was complete. The twins stepped closer, their movements slower, more deliberate. Vera's expression was unreadable, but her eyes no longer mocked. Kyra's smile was faint but respectful. You have surprised us, Vera said in their tongue. You have changed us, Kira added. Aaron gave a small nod. And perhaps you have changed me as well. Mira exhaled in relief, but her eyes shone with pride. She leaned toward Aaron and whispered, Captain, I don't think they will ever mock humans again. Aaron smiled faintly. Good, because this is only the beginning. The chamber's symbol shifted one last time, forming a single glowing doorway at the far end. Beyond it, golden light poured like a river. The final path to the artifact awaited. Aaron looked at the twins, then at Mira. We go together. No more games, no more mocking. From now on, we move as allies. The twins exchanged a glance and nodded. For the first time since their meeting, Aaron felt true unity forming between them. They had laughed at him, underestimated him, and challenged him. But now they had seen the truth. Humans were not weak. Humans were not blind. And humans were never to be mocked again. Aaron stepped through the glowing doorway first. His team behind him and the twins close at his side. The revelation had come, and the future would never be the same. The hidden entrance led them into a narrow corridor carved from the glowing rock of the forest planet. The walls pulsed with faint light, responding to the presence of the humans and the twin sisters. Captain Aaron Saul led the way, his eyes alert, scanning every detail, every movement. Mira and the rest of the crew followed, trusting their captain implicitly. Vera and Kira floated beside them, no longer mocking, but still alert. Their violet skin glowed faintly under the corridor's light, and their eyes held a mixture of curiosity and caution. Aaron knew the twins had planned this. They were guiding them toward something important. Yet, as always, he didn't show that he understood. Pretending ignorance was part of the plan. Observation was their strongest weapon. The corridor opened into a vast chamber. Strange geometric symbols floated mid-air, rotating slowly as though alive. The ceiling glimmered with an alien aurora, casting shifting shadows across the floor. In the center, two raised platforms hovered slightly above the ground, connected by a path made of light. The twins stopped at the platforms, their eyes glowing brighter. They spoke in unison, rapid words Aaron could now understand. Step carefully. Choose wisely. One path is truth, one is trial. Mira looked to him. Captain, they're challenging us directly this time. Are we ready? Aaron's lips curved into a slight smile. We've been ready all along. Watch and follow my lead. The twins gestured toward the path of light. Vera's hand pointed to the left platform, Kira's to the right. Their language was deliberate now, each movement signaling the risk in one platform and safety in the other. Most visitors failed here, their instincts leading them to traps hidden in the luminous path. Aaron took a deep breath. Humans were not the fastest species nor the strongest, but they were clever, patient, and adaptive. That was their advantage. He moved toward the left platform, carefully observing every subtle clue the twins gave. The platform reacted under his boots, pulsing softly. One wrong step could collapse it entirely. But Aaron noticed the rhythm in the twins' gestures. When Kira's eyes flickered, it meant caution. When Vera's hand tilted slightly, it indicated the next safe step. He led his team across the light path step by careful step. Mira followed, her movements precise. Each human matched Aaron's pace, learning the language of observation as he had taught them silently. The twins floated beside them, exchanging rapid words. They were impressed, though they would never admit it aloud. Humans, they realized, could do something few species could, interpret intention without seeing the whole picture. When they reached the end of the platform, the twins gestured again. Aaron understood immediately. The trial wasn't just physical, it was about understanding, about reading cues and responding intelligently. He nodded to his team. Now comes the real test. Ahead, a floating wall of crystalline energy shimmered. Across its surface, glowing symbols shifted constantly, forming patterns and then dissolving into new shapes. The twins spoke again, slower this time, repeating a phrase Aaron recognized. Comprehend or fail. Aaron studied the wall. To the untrained eye, it was meaningless, but he had learned the twins' patterns, gestures, and language. Eriko. The chamber of echoes glowed with silver light. The walls were curved and smooth like a giant shell carved from shining stone. Strange symbols moved across the surface, shifting and fading like ripples on water. Captain Aaron Sol stood in the center with his team. Mira and the other humans looked around with wide eyes while the twin alien sisters, Vera and Kira, hovered near the far wall. Their glowing eyes stayed fixed on Aaron. They were no longer laughing. Their mocking smiles had faded days ago. Now they studied him with quiet caution. The sisters whispered in their language, fast and flowing like music. They thought Aaron still caught only fragments, but he understood more than they believed. Their words carried weight: test, chosen, danger, voice. Aaron raised his chin. You wanted us here. Now tell me why. The chamber trembled slightly as if alive. From the ceiling, a deep tone rolled across the air, vibrating through every bone in their bodies. It wasn't the sisters who answered. It was the chamber itself. Speak, the voice rumbled. Prove that your kind is worthy. Mira stepped closer to Aaron. Captain, it's asking us? Yes, Aaron said calmly. It wants to hear the voice of humans. The twins exchanged a sharp glance. Vera floated forward, her face unreadable. The chamber tests every visitor. Most fail, few survive. Your people are not ready, Kira added, her tone sharper. It wants truth, a truth that can move stars. Do you have such a truth? The humans stayed silent, watching their captain. Aaron closed his eyes for a moment, gathering his thoughts. He knew what the chamber wanted. Not strength, not power, not clever tricks. It wanted the heart of humanity. He stepped forward, his voice steady. We are humans. We are young compared to your people. Our worlds are smaller, our history shorter. We are not the oldest, the strongest, or the fastest. But we are something else. We are learners. The chamber hummed, the walls glowing brighter. Aaron continued, his words simple but strong. Where others see walls, we see doors. Where others see puzzles, we see patterns. We fall, we break, we bleed. But every time we rise again. That is what makes us human. We adapt, we change. We grow. The echo of his voice carried through the chamber, repeating again and again. Mira felt chills run across her skin. The other humans stood taller, their faces lit with pride. Vera tilted her head, studying him with new interest. Kira folded her arms but said nothing. The chamber's voice rumbled once more. You speak of survival. You speak of growth. But what of others? What of unity? Aaron looked at his team. Then he turned to the sisters. His eyes were calm, but his words struck like a blade. Unity is not easy for us. We argue, we fight. Sometimes we even destroy. But when the storm comes, when the darkness falls, we stand together. That is why I can stand here now. Not because I am alone, but because I have people beside me who believe in me. He pointed at Mira, then the rest of his crew. Humans are never just one voice. We are a chorus. 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 voices rising together. That is our strength. The chamber grew brighter, pulsing with golden light. The air vibrated so strongly that the humans had to brace themselves. Vera whispered, her voice soft with disbelief. He awakens it. Kira's eyes narrowed. No, impossible. He should not be able to. But the evidence was clear. The chamber responded to Aaron's words, to his truth. A doorway of golden fire opened at the far side of the chamber. The walls sang with a sound like countless voices joining together in harmony. The chamber's deep voice spoke again. Human, you have given your truth. You may step forward. Beyond this door lies the gift. But know this, the gift is not for the proud. It is for the worthy. Aaron turned to his team. Stay close. We go together. The humans walked toward the door, their shadows stretching long in the golden light. The twins did not move. They stayed behind, watching silently. But as Aaron passed, Vera finally spoke. Her voice quiet but heavy. Your words. They changed the chamber. No one has ever done that before. Aaron paused and met her eyes. That's what humans do. We change things, even when no one expects us to. For a moment, her proud expression softened. Kira looked away, hiding her thoughts. The humans stepped through the golden door. On the other side, they entered a vast hall filled with floating crystals. Each one glowed with shifting colors, humming softly. The air was alive with energy, Mira whispered in awe. It's like the heartbeat of the planet. Aaron walked forward slowly. His instincts told him this place was the true core, the secret the sisters had wanted to protect. The crystals began to move, circling around him. They pulsed with light, reacting to his presence. Then one by one they fused into a single crystal, larger than all the rest. It hovered before him, glowing with golden fire. The chamber's voice echoed one last time. Take this, human. Carry it with honor. It is knowledge, it is memory, it is power. It is the voice of those who came before. Protect it, and it will guide you. Aaron reached out his hand. The crystal settled into his palm, warm and alive, as if it had a heartbeat of its own. Behind him, Mira gasped. The crew whispered with awe. Even the proud twins were silent, their eyes locked on the human who now carried what no alien had ever been given. Aaron closed his hand around the crystal and spoke softly. We will protect it. That is my promise. The crystal's light flared, sealing his vow. The hall grew quiet. The humans stood together, stronger than before. They had passed the test. They had spoken their truth. And the ancient power of the alien world had chosen them. For the first time since they had landed, Aaron saw no mockery in the twins' eyes. Only respect, and a trace of fear. The golden crystal glowed softly in Captain Aaron Saul's hand. Its warmth spread through him like fire and light at once. The chamber was silent now, except for the faint hum of the crystal's heartbeat. The humans stood close, staring at their captain with pride and wonder. Behind them, the twin alien sisters Vera and Kira floated quietly. Their mocking smiles had long vanished. For the first time, they looked uncertain. Mira stepped closer to Aaron. Captain, is it really over? Aaron shook his head slowly. No, this is only the beginning. He looked down at the crystal. In its glow, shifting symbols appeared and vanished like words written in light. The meaning pressed at his mind. He didn't fully understand it yet, but he could feel its weight. Knowledge older than stars, memories of a people long gone. The sisters finally moved forward. Vera's voice was calm but sharp. You should not have been chosen. The chamber has tested thousands. None from the younger races passed, yet you woke it. Kyra's tone was colder. Do you even know what you hold? That crystal is not just a gift. It is a burden. It carries the last memory of a vanished empire. If you fail it, your kind may share the same fate. Aaron met their eyes without fear. Then we won't fail. The sisters said nothing. The hall trembled. The crystals around them flickered, and the golden one in Aaron's hand pulsed brighter. Then, without warning, the walls split open, revealing a vast tunnel leading deep into the planet's core. The chamber's voice returned, louder than before, filling the hall. One final step remains. Carry the memory to the heart. Only then shall the truth be revealed. Mira exhaled sharply. Another test, Aaron nodded. The last one. The humans began walking. The twins followed silently, their glowing eyes watching every step. The tunnel was long and endless, lit by rivers of molten light flowing along the walls. Strange machines, half alive and half stone, turned slowly, as if they had been waiting for ages. The deeper they went, the heavier the air became. Every breath felt thick, filled with power. Finally, they reached the core. It was a colossal chamber, larger than anything they had seen before. At its center floated a massive sphere of light, brighter than 1,000 suns, yet soft enough to look at. It pulsed gently, like the heartbeat of the planet itself. The crystal in Aaron's hand answered, glowing in harmony. The voice of the planet thundered once more. The memory must join the heart. But beware, unity demands truth. Speak now, human. Speak for your kind. The sphere brightened, waiting. Aaron stepped forward. His crew looked at him, trusting him. The twins hovered back, tense and silent. Aaron raised the crystal high. His voice echoed across the core. We are humans. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. We fight, we stumble, we lose. But we never stop moving forward. That is our truth. The sphere pulsed, listening. Aaron's voice grew stronger. We are builders. We take broken pieces and shape them into something new. We are dreamers. We look at the stars and imagine what lies beyond, and we are protectors. When we carry a burden, we do not drop it. When we make a promise, we keep it. He looked at the glowing crystal. This memory, this knowledge, it is safe with us. We will not use it for pride or for conquest. We will use it to grow, to learn, to unite. Mira stepped forward, adding her voice. We may be young, but we are not blind. We see the mistakes of the past. We will not repeat them. This time, the memory will live. The other humans lifted their voices too. One by one, they spoke of courage, of survival, of family, of hope. Their words rose together, forming a chorus that filled the chamber. The sphere pulsed brighter and brighter until the entire core glowed like a living sun. Vera whispered, stunned, They are binding with it. Kira shook her head, disbelief on her face. No race has ever done this, but it was happening. The crystal in Aaron's hand dissolved into golden light, flowing into his chest. He gasped but did not falter. The light SP,